Welcome back to the second episode of our review on John Wayne Gacy, Devil in Disguise documentary slash interview. As always, I'm your host, Catalina, and this is my co host, Captain Spaulding.
Good evening, everyone.
We're going to be starting on episode 2. Uh, he did, Gacy did talk to them about him being Pogo, which is his.
Basically, alter ego.
See, I don't understand that. I don't understand how he got dubbed the clown serial killer when he never dressed up as a clown to kill these people.
Right? And the clown really doesn't.
It doesn't even pertain to him. He enjoyed being the clown. It was relaxing. He could be
Revert back to childhood.
Yeah. And be close to the children, which is really spooky if you really think about it, considering the fact that he was actually killing children and burying them underneath his house.
I mean, children, yes, but teenagers, not children, not small children who enjoy clowns.
Very true. Because, I mean, he did. Now, the style in which he did kind of trick them, I could see where it would be tied to the clown, but then again, not really. Oh, excuse me. Not really, because I mean, it was a magician's act.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, because he was always like, "Look, I can get out of these handcuffs."
Right.
Oh wow, how do you do that? Let me try to do that. Well, here's the thing: you gotta have the key. You don't have the key, can't get out. There you go. You're screwed. You're screwed.
Yeah, he also had other magic tricks that we will be discussing in the next episode.
Later episodes, yes, because they haven't really dug. That's one thing about the next two episodes, the second one and the third episode of these, is they don't really dig deep. It's more like they're recapping and trying to show you where the puzzles fit, the pieces fit in the puzzle. And I mean,
They basically take you forward to take you backwards.
exactly.
They tell you about all the stuff that was found and how they found it and everything.
Yes.
Or no, they tell you what they found so they can later explain how they found it.
And how it fits in the story. But here's the thing, like in episode 2, we kind of jumped ahead of ourselves in episode 1. We In episode 2 they did discuss that he was married to one of the KFC owners. He was married to his daughter, and yes, he was going to be taking over the company. That's what the father wanted until that scandal came out, and he had to do 10 years in a rehab prison. And then that's where it led to, oh, well, he was a model prisoner. He didn't even spend, and this is when we find out that he didn't even spend the full 10 years there. He spent 18 months.
Right.
And
Which
I think that's shit.
I mean, if they would have looked into his past as soon as someone said anything about him, he should have definitely been in prison a long time before whenever he got caught.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I kind of agree with one of the I don't know if it was a police officer. I don't remember who he was, but I agree with him. There was money exchanged on that one because
Oh,
while
yeah,
he was in that rehab facility center, he was actually his father passed away. So that's when his mom's like, "Wait a minute, I need my son here." He was already a model.
but
Yes. And it already got the golf course, which is really funny to me.
right. And okay, so in prison back then, it was blue denim T-shirt and denim jeans. He was the only one allowed to walk around with a white collared shirt. He was the head chef basically in the prison, and he got away with more stuff because he was giving the guards the best food, the and just basically bribing the police. Well, not police, the correctional officers.
He's putting on a show. That's what John was all about. All about putting on a show. Best face forward. Bleh. I don't know how people say that. To get what he wanted. Back then in the 1950s and 60s on up to 70s, it was all politics. Nowadays, it's not so much politics, it's more of crooked dealings and spotlight on people to take away from government and politics. Back then, it was all about politics. It was all about who you knew. Just like, my hometown. In my hometown, there's what there is such thing as called old money.
Mhm.
They like completely they're the reasons why we have not had, like, say, a sex shop come into our town. Now we've had two.
Right,
One on the outside, which was where our strip club used to stand, which where our you know, our bar used to stand. We were a dry county. Now we're not.
right,
And now there's all this growth and development around my hometown to where when old money was here, they did not want to expand that far because they just really didn't see putting any real money into this town because it is old. It does have hold a lot of historical things. That's where what I'm fixing to say comes into play. It was all about who you knew and how much money you had. And believe me, his parents had that type of pull, knew the people, and so did he.
well, I don't know if it was so much that
It
because
was never stated though.
it very true. But if you look at where they were at, like where they lived,
Chicago?
yes, but I'm talking the street that they
Chicago was crooked.
but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the street that they lived on, the kind of house that they lived in. It was middle class. It wasn't a nice, fancy, overwhelming house.
Middle class back then was not like it is now.
Very true. So yes, they had money, but they were not rich.
But middle class is not classified then as it is now. So yes, technically, if you're a middle class, you had money and you had pull. Lower class, you might not have had as much as the higher rich ones. You might not have had that much. But Gacy had already climbed that ladder.
Yeah, but the way that he climbed it was not with money.
No, it was by big events, sticking his nose out there.
Being able to talk.
Exactly. That was my point. Big events, putting his name out there,
Well, no,
making a business,
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
knowing who he knew.
it's all about what he's. It's not really so much of what he said. Really, it's he came across as you can trust me.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't. I mean, because like I said, look at the prison, look at the how fast he put all that together for everybody and climbed that ladder.
Because he knew who to talk to and how to say it.
He had a plan. He knew what he was doing. He was a manipulator. It's
Right.
exactly how that works. And in order to get big names in your face out there, the way he did in that society was he created big events. You have to have some kind of money and some kind of pull and a person that knows a person that knows a person to get those people to you and be like, yeah, this person
Well, I mean,
created all this. Yes, he knew how to pull them in.
I mean, not so much with the money still, because I mean, look at presidential elections. It's not the the person running for the presidency isn't the one that pays for it. He gets donations to pay for it. Same way
Trump
with
didn't.
well, I mean,
Trump's rich enough, he doesn't need that.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is John Gacy not that rich? So he probably had donors.
We don't know how. Okay, let's just agree to disagree on this
Okay.
because
Yeah.
you're not getting it, but it's okay. Um, what I'm saying is, I agree with you to an extent, yes, but I don't agree with, you know, how he got a hold of the money. He could have been doing loans because loans were actually a lot easier to come by back then too. So it might not, I mean, and mortgages and stuff were a lot more than what they are now. You can't really compare much of his to nowadays because everything's different and everything's
Yeah, I know. I wasn't
changed.
connecting anything to.
That's what I'm saying. What I was trying to get across to you was like old money and him being in that middle class, it's not the same as today. You were kind of trying to compare him to today. No, you can't. And then saying that it was how he said it. Well, I mean, he had to be able to put together these events and be able to get a person that knew a person that could get this person and go on up the ladder. He knew which way to go.
Right.
So not only is it word of mouth, but it's invitations, it's setting the events, it's getting him out there.
Right.
You can't do anything if you're just sending letters to people. You know what I'm saying? It back then you had to be in the face because it was all about politics.
Hmm.
Which the fact that he was a Democrat is just mind-boggling to me.
That kind of fits, honestly.
It can. But, oof. Oh, we did not even touch the topic that him and his wife were swingers. This is where we.
Right.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
I mean, in a way, I guess it kind of makes sense.
but for it to be back in 1960s,
Very true.
1960s, like
But
really?
the fact
Ew.
that it never came out.
Yeah, but okay. Now I know this is completely off topic. This is kind of funny because this is where my mind's going. But just think, back in the 60s, being swingers, does anybody remember the fucking bras and panties? How was that sexy?
I mean, they had to have had some kind of.
I don't know. I would love to see some like sexy lingerie from the 1960s.
I
I
mean, they
now
had to have
kind
been
of
getting stuff from France or something.
do you okay, this is France we're talking about. Like,
I mean, that's where the fashion industry is overseas. I mean, yeah, we don't have shit here except for fucking. Actually, I don't even think Victoria's Secret is out of the U.S.
I don't think it is either. And it's ran by a gay guy. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, he's straight.
No, he's not.
I thought it was a straight white guy.
I don't think so. I don't know. We'll look that up later. We'll look that up later. Not that this is part of the podcast, but it's one of those I just how can you like how that would be so taboo back then.
I mean, maybe they just walk around naked. Just
Ugh.
a house full of naked people.
With those high heel shoes. Ugh. Ugh. All you
Saggy
see
old
is
white
white.
politicians.
Right? Oh my gosh. I was just thinking like this illuminated room of whiteness. It's just I'm sorry, it's so bad. Cause I mean, I don't know. I can't go there because that would be like a racist thing, but you would I oh my gosh. Because they would never well yeah, they'd probably mingle, but still. It's just that's just so funny to me to just picture that. But yeah, they were swingers, and she was a little worried about him, being going out. You know, he basically did what he to his first wife, what he did to his second wife,
Yeah,
going out late, staying gone.
yeah, because the second wife's the one that noticed the smell and everything.
Oh yeah, because that one wasn't even. I don't even think they had moved in together yet. The first wife, I don't even think they lived
Yeah,
together,
they
did
live
they?
together,
But
but not in that house.
no, well, no, because that's when he came back out of the prison
Right.
after 18 months. It didn't take long for him to come back and get settled and yeah, he started his business then whenever he got out of that rehab prison. and met his second wife, that's where the two stepdaughters came from. The first wife he actually had two kids of his own,
Right.
which we covered that one.
Yeah, but it didn't say much about it.
No, it kind of kept them out of the spotlight. I don't even remember if they said if they were male or female or what. But it did touch on his childhood though. Like I said, his father did pass away when he was in prison. That was kind of hard on him from what people are understood and knew about because he was actually in prison, couldn't go to his father's funeral. His father was a drinker, and John was his basically his punching bag. You know how back in the 1960s and 70s, it was, man, child abuse was not a talked about thing at all. And a lot of these serial killers and, you know, pretty much cult leaders, they were beat by at least somebody in their family back then.
Well, I just found out an interesting fact.
What?
So,
Breaking news. What?
PDM construction
Yeah.
is still going.
Really? Who's it run
Yes.
by?
I am not sure, but it says it is in North Wales, Pennsylvania.
Oh, but what does that one stand for?
I am not sure. It does not say.
Because his had a
But they do manufactured homes and stuff now.
Oh, well, his was pharmacies. His was mainly
Well, I mean, it wasn't just
pharmacies.
pharmacies. It was homes and everything else. It was. Uh,
Yeah, but his main contract back then, when he had all that, because it states that it was
no, he
for
got into pharmacy. He started out doing just wallpaper. Like it says that in the first episode, I think, was he started out doing just wallpaper on.
It
Uh,
didn't touch much on his business about that.
no,
It really
not a
did.
whole
Not
lot.
in the first one. That's in the
I,
second
I
one.
mean, all it really talked about though, for as far as
Was
the
mainly
construction.
pharmacies.
No, okay,
He did. It was
okay.
mainly contracted for pharmacies because that's what was so big back then. Remodeling of them. I mean, that was where he got a lot of his windows, and I think that's where he got a lot of his victims from.
Could have been.
Because, I mean, come on, there was malt shops, like, back then. If you don't know what a malt is, it's a fucking shake, okay? It's a
It's just a
thicker,
really thick shake.
it's a really, and I'm sorry, there is no way in hell that you can tell me you can go down to your local Sonic and their malts are the same as what they used to be in a diner back in the day. Because I guarantee you it's not.
Oh,
Because
definitely not.
their malts and their shakes are the same consistencies. I'm sorry. I'm a fat kid. I'll be able to tell you that real quick.
I mean, it's like the difference between going to
Sorry.
McDonald's for a shake and then going to Brahms.
Oh, Brahms is good. Oh my goodness, Brahms is so good with their
Yeah,
shakes.
because I mean, you could pick any kind of ice cream. But anyway,
Mm-hmm. You can tell where our minds are. We already covered that he was a bisexual. And that his mother did push to get him out after his father passed away, and that his father he was a drinker, and he was very abusive towards John. They don't go into too much depth, but they did say whenever he got, he was irritated, John was the first one he went to.
hmm
So that's about all they really covered on that one. Even the sister didn't
yeah,
say
'cause
much.
they kept like anytime they talked about John's father, I mean, they always said the same thing.
It was very vague, like very.
hmm Just he would come, go back home from drinking, and get irritated and take it all out on John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah, definitely. And he did have his two main boys, which we didn't even find out how old they were, really.
Yes,
Did we? Rossi?
I believe 17 and 19.
Really?
Yes.
He had his two pretty much henchmen, I guess.
Yeah, basically.
Basically, because didn't Krim or no, it was Rossi that had the first victim's car.
Well, no, not the first victim. It was the one they found the ring because he took his ring in his car, the uh, graduating ring.
I thought that was his first victim that went missing. The first known one
Well,
that
yeah, the
went
first
missing.
known one, yes.
That went missing. Yeah, we don't know if per se that was his first victim, but the first known that had a connection to Gacy was the the missing student, high school student that had his own car.
Well, I also believe his name was John.
Honestly, don't remember. I it's not that I don't want to put a lot of emphasis in onto the victims. It's more of, I mean, he had freaking 33 plus victims.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I want to know, I like to know the basics and, what makes them tick. And all these documentaries and interviews don't really touch that because they don't want to give them the time. They don't want to give them the space. They want you to hear from experts and, oh, well, this is what causes all this. Okay, that might be what causes it, but that doesn't tell me as a human being what would make me kill you.
Right.
Why would I want to kill somebody, put them underneath my floor,
See,
cover them in lime, and act like nothing happened? It doesn't smell like
that's
Morgan here.
that's why I think. Okay, and you're not gonna agree with this. I already
Probably
know.
not. I don't agree with a lot of things you say, but that's the point. This is what makes us really good friends.
Anyway, that's the only reason why I think calling him a quote unquote monster is not the worst title because he never says why he did it. He just did it.
None of them really say why they did it. Ed Gein didn't say why he did it or that he even admitted to doing it.
I mean, in a
I
sense, he admitted to it, but
No, not really. He just said, "Well, okay, show me the proof. If you got the proof, I believe that I did it, but I don't show me."
yeah, he
He
was kind
never
of schizo though.
Yeah,
Jonathan
but
Gacy, not so much. He just killed people.
I think that dude was nuts anyway.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
definitely.
who dresses up like a clown and is a swinger and is into politics? Okay, there's a lot going on up there that you're not telling people. You got to cross dress and be bisexual. No, well, okay, clown dress. Let's call a spade what it is. Clown dress. If you got to dress up in clown makeup to make yourself feel better, then and go into politics, there's something wrong with you. And do a
Right.
lot of drugs because they did say that he gave his people drugs.
Oh yeah, he'd pull up to a corner.
Smoking a joint, man.
Yeah, he'd just pull up to the corner. Hey, you smoke a joint?
I got beer at the house. You want to come over? Yeah, never. The only thing he was missing was the big freaking, mystery van, the mystery machine that had the smoke coming out the fucking back with the dog in the window.
Dog.
But, I mean,
Like, let's go get high.
exactly. But Rossi and, what was his name? Rossi and Krim?
I think.
They worked for him in,
Dug the tunnels under his house.
yeah, they worked for him. They also worked for him in his company and also worked for him under the sheets. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
They were his
Performing sexual favors.
Yeah. Yep. And he even stated that they did that and they did it because he had what they wanted.
Whether it was money or
Possessions or
some dead guy's car.
a possession. Basically, Gacy was the P. Diddy before P. Diddy was P. Diddy, okay?
Right.
That's what that shit is. He had the drugs, he had the drinks, he had the massive parties, he had the clowns that performed, which he was the clown. But, I mean, you can honestly say he was the P. Diddy of 1960s, of the 1960s, which is really funny.
60s, 70s, and 80s.
Um. Now, see, in episode 2, he does tell Krim that he killed 33 people. Krim told the cops that. They took, and then, but see, that's what gets me about this one. It's like you said, like you stated earlier, it's ass backwards. This documentary or this interview is so ass backwards. Like, but after that, they took him in for uh possession of marijuana. That's what they took him in for. But the cops, if you remember back in episode 1, the cops had come into his house. They were having dinner, or they were going to have dinner with him. And the cop said when he walked in the house, the first thing they smelled was wow, and even stated it smelled like the county morgue.
No, it wasn't whenever they first walked in the house. They had dinner with him. Then one of them excused themselves to go use the bathroom, and while he was using the bathroom, the heat kicked on.
Oh yeah, okay, my bad. Excuse me. I'm kind of going a little bit faster in my brain than what I thought. That's okay. But yeah, that's right. Because I remember the heater thing coming on whenever they were talking about it on the documentary or interview or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, he's right. The heat kicked on. He was like, "Holy shit, this smells like morgue, city morgue."
Which he remembers from his time being in the field.
Yeah.
And actually going into houses where people were deceased for a while.
But when did he talk to Krim though about? Yeah, he did kill 33 people.
After they caught him with the guy's car, the first victim's car.
Caught who?
Crip. Because he got gas and didn't pay for it, so they thought that the guy was still alive.
Oh, ducking and running, like what do they call it? Gas dodging or something like that.
I don't remember what they call it.
I don't remember.
It's basically like a dine and dash for gas. Or a beer run for gas.
True.
Which you can't do nowadays.
Hell no. Me and my friends, me and my friends have done it a couple times when we were younger. Oh, I didn't know about it, but
well, I mean, you can still get a gas card from Quick Trip that lets you pre-pump. But anyway.
Really?
Yes.
But anyways, see, that's what I understand. When did he get? It was like they set him up, and then Krim found the cops that were behind him and said he just told me about killing 33 kids because he was in the car with Krim. Sorry, it's been a couple of days since we actually watched these, and we're trying to keep our notes together, and we're trying to give y'all a good, solid review on this and how things were going.
I don't remember how he ended up in the car with him.
But he did.
But yeah.
We'll go back and rewatch that one and kind of put it into season 3. But he did admit to Krim. Gacy did admit to Krim that in that car, that stolen car, basically, that he murdered 33 kids, and Krim was like, "Holy shit! Okay, yeah, dude, okay." Kept it calm, and then went and told one of the police officers that were telling them.
I don't see how they didn't already know it in the first place. It's like I said,
they're stupid.
They were the ones digging the trenches under the house.
Yeah,
they were the ones that were spreading the lime under the house because Gacy's fat ass couldn't fit under there.
How did he even get the first, layer in there if he couldn't get his fat butt in there? Because he's always been a chunky man. And how did he do that with people in the house?
That's the one I'm trying to figure out.
See, yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
No one know.
See, that's what makes me wonder. Are we really sure he is taking advantage of this? Like, that he really committed this murder? These murders?
I'm sure he did.
I don't know, because
okay, so it's like you were saying on the first episode of this podcast. His mom had to have known from the beginning.
Oh yeah, she was covering for her baby, of course.
And
But
that's who lived in the house in the beginning, was just him and his mom.
very true. But here's what gets me: there's also people out in the driveway.
Right. I don't know how the one got under the driveway.
Driveway. It was two. I thought that was
No,
under the
just
driveway.
one under the driveway and then one under the garage.
See how whenever that was all
See,
pre together, they
that
didn't build that
I
house.
no, the garage was separate from the house
Yeah,
at
but
first.
the driveway had to already be there.
No, not it wasn't concrete at least.
Probably not. Maybe we don't know that though. They don't really say.
True. But see, that's the only thing I'm thinking. That's the only way I can think that that could happen is after he started his construction business, he added the garage after the first victim, or one of the victims. It could have been the last one after he filled up the house.
He couldn't. He couldn't not. He could have been. He could have been a lazy fuck and said, "You know what? I'm gonna do it out here." Oh wait, never mind. That's too far away from the house. It's too far away from the house. And then while his driveway was under construction, he might have went out and found a victim and was like, "I don't want to go all the way in the garage. I don't want to do all that. I don't want. I ain't no place in the house. Here we go, perfect hole."
It'll be filled up tomorrow with concrete.
Yeah, I didn't know it's gonna do any fucking thing anyway. I got this. So we don't really know. It doesn't really say.
I mean, none of them. It doesn't say how any of the bodies ended up under the house or anywhere. The only
Exactly.
ones it talks about, I can't say anything about yet because that's the next
The
episode.
next episode. But as of this point, he has basically been arrested by the cops because the only thing that the cops could
Actually, charge him with was marijuana.
because he couldn't prove whether or not he really did say anything about, killing 33 people. So they had to take him in on the marijuana charge in order to get a second warrant
No,
to search
see,
his house.
the confession from Krim got them the second warrant, but they were able to arrest him and get him out of the house.
No, they arrested him on marijuana charges outside of the house
Yeah, but that
because
was
he was already sweating.
but that was to keep them away from the house so that they could go do their investigation and search the rest of the house.
That was my point. The only thing they could arrest him on, though, to keep him out of the house because he was already sweating, they did not want him to be able to go in there and tamper with evidence or mess anything up. Not like he could get rid of 33 fucking bodies any damn way.
Hey, like he
But
even said, he was too fat to fit in that crawl space anyway.
true. But I mean, if it were me and cops were already being, on my ass like that, my best thing would have been to do? Set the whole fucking house on fire, dude.
Exactly.
Walk away. Cause while they're doing all this shit, I would already have my car down like on the other block with some of my shit packed, and I'd be gone.
Uh-huh.
Changing my name, everything. But yeah, so far that's all of episode 2 with the John Wayne Gacy Devil in Disguise. This is where we're gonna end this podcast. We are at 33 minutes. I know we went a little bit longer on the first one. But we are going to be bringing y'all more uh and try to at least get at least maybe 1 to 2 podcasts in every 1 to 2 days or every other day. So we're going to try to stay on top of that. We're not going to do a schedule yet just because I haven't gotten back to work yet, but I will be in the next week or so. So that way we can kind of see what our schedule is and go from there. But if you guys are enjoying our rantings and I guess
So
disagreements, then make sure to leave a like, share, and comment. And if you want to see something else, we do have these podcasts going over to my YouTube channel. That is Catalina Chain over there on YouTube. Um, I guess
also on Discord, right?
I do have a Discord channel. Yes, that one is called. What is my Discord called? I don't even remember. It's bad.
Can't remember everything.
No, so much outstretch on media.
But definitely leave comments. Good, bad.
The Unnormal Minds slash, and that is where On the Line Talk comes from. Um, like I said, it was my first. This is my first podcast, so I'm still learning the odds and ends and trying to make sure that we get everything correct and done right and working out all the bugs and the tweaks and stuff. So, like I said, if you guys like what you're hearing, make sure to check us out over here on Discord, on YouTube, and leave a like, share, comment, any ideas. We'll definitely take those into consideration. And you guys enjoy your night or day or evening.
Right.
Bye, guys.